Joe Langston didn't know it at the time, but the moment he met her, he was already lost. It wasn't love at first sight. No, it was something darker. She was always there, lurking in the background, watching him with unblinking, ravenous eyes. She never approached, never spoke, but Joe always felt her gaze, like a heavy weight pressing down on him. And for some reason, he didn't mind. He didn't realize the subtle things she was doing, how she always seemed to be near when he left, watching from across the street as he walked home. His phone would sometimes ring with strange, cryptic messages, always untraceable. The first real sign of something wrong came when an anonymous bouquet of roses arrived at his apartment. The card simply read, "You're mine now, Joe." Joe brushed it off. Days turned to weeks, and things only escalated. His friends and family started to notice. Joe was distracted, obsessed, constantly talking about the woman who never even spoke to him. His coworker, Jeremy, pulled him aside one day. "Joe, what's going on with you, man? People are starting to talk." But Joe didn't listen. He was lost in her eyes, in the way she made him feel. It was love, real love. No one understood. Not even his sister Melanie, who had seen the woman at the bar one night and told Joe she was obsessed. One evening, Joe's mother, Ruth, called him in tears. She'd been getting strange messages breathing, heavy with desperation, saying, "He's mine. You can't keep him from me." His love for her consumed him, and he was powerless against it. Then the murders began. First, his sister Melanie. Joe arrived at her apartment to find her body posed, her eyes wide with terror, as if she had known the end was coming. A note on the table read, "I'm just taking what's mine. You can't have him, Melanie. He belongs to me." Joe was in shock. The woman had killed his sister. He couldn't make sense of it, but a part of him shifted. His brother Tommy. His body was posed, just like Melanie's strangled. A note again, "He's mine, all mine." Joe's mind unraveled. He was consumed by the idea that the woman was everywhere, taunting him, tormenting him with her love. Everything fell apart when Jeremy confronted him. He was acting distant. Jeremy asked what was going on, but Joe screamed, "You're trying to take her from me." Before Jeremy could respond, Joe grabbed a knife. Jeremy's screams echoed through the house. Afterwards, Joe stood there, knife in hand. His mind was a haze of lust, rage, and twisted love. And then he saw her. She was standing in the corner, smiling, satisfied. "You did it, Joe," she whispered, her voice a seductive purr. "You finally gave in." It hit him then. She hadn't killed anyone. Driven mad by his obsession, Joe realized he had killed his sister, his brother, his coworker. He had killed everyone in the name of love. The woman, he, had never existed. He had been his own monster, a dark reflection of his own desires. Joe collapsed to the floor. The obsession had been in his head all along. His twisted mind had made him the killer. The truth he understood was this. There was no one left. Joe, the only monster. Joe Langston didn't know it at the time, but the moment he met her, he was already lost. It wasn't love at first sight. No, it was something darker. She was always there, lurking in the background, watching him with unblinking, ravenous eyes. She never approached, never spoke, and for some reason, he didn't mind.